I am Sister Mac.
Michelle,
I'm Beatrice.
I'm Charles.
Trina,
Lawrence.
Dorita.
Joe.
Imagine living in a world where people cannot sit outside on their porches. Children cannot ride their bikes, and the birds cannot sing. This day may come a little sooner than we may think, as a result of our large carbon footprint. A carbon footprint is essentially the amount of greenhouse gases, such as carbon dioxide, that we produce on a daily basis. In fact, according to What's Your Impact.org, in 2011, the total global emissions of carbon dioxide were 33.2 billion tons. Also, I recently traveled to Beijing, China, where I had an opportunity to experience these high levels of carbon dioxide, which were quite shocking. For that reason, I have decided to speak with you all today about the impact of high carbon emissions and what you could do to lower these emissions. The first impact of high carbon emissions will be on the environment, which is climate change. According to the National Snow Ice Data Center, 448,000 square miles have been lost in the ice caps compared to previous years. Carbon dioxide is most responsible for this global warming because carbon dioxide goes up into the atmosphere and it traps heat. As you can see in this chart, carbon dioxide is emitted from developing countries and well-developed countries such as the US and China. Furthermore, deforestation is another environmental effect of these high emissions. Furthermore, disease is caused by high carbon emissions as well. High air temperatures can lead to respiratory and cardiovascular conditions. According to the World Health Organization, 300 million people are affected by asthma, which is the inflammation in the lungs. This is a model of the lungs, and essentially what happens with asthma is these little tiny tubes in the lungs called bronchioles become inflamed and it makes it difficult to breathe. Some solutions to high carbon emissions will be turning towards renewable energy such as solar panels, hydroelectric plants, and wind turbines. According to the U.S. Department of Energy National Renewable Energy Laboratory, if 80% of our energy was produced from renewable resources, we could cut our electricity use by 81%. People have criticized renewable energy sources by saying that they are super expensive and inconvenient. But I challenge that by saying that they are not inconvenient and they are also quite affordable due to the high demand in this day and age. Another way to conserve energy is to recycle. Recycling saves the use of resources that are needed to produce more products. Furthermore, carpooling is another great way that we can all save energy because it transports multiple people at one time. I challenge you all today to consider gardening because gardening is a great way to bring our community together, and it also gets rid of some of the carbon in the atmosphere because plants will soak it up. According to the Carbon Offsets to Alleviate Poverty, 13% of the greenhouse gases are caused by production of food and transport. If we were all to garden and grow our own food, we could lower these costs, which will in turn lower these emissions as well. I also challenge you all to write our government officials. Rick Scott is the governor of Florida, and you can go on to flgov.com and write a letter to him about why we should all lower our carbon emissions. In conclusion, the rise of carbon emissions is a global issue that could take a large toll on the environment and our health. However, as you all have learned today, there are many solutions to this problem, such as using solar panels, hydroelectric plants, and wind turbines. It is the responsibility of not only the government, but the citizens of the United States and of the world to improve this issue. We may not know how the future will entirely turn out, yet cutting our carbon emissions is a vital aspect to ensure the future for us us and the generations hereafter.